Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Meyna Rasya Putri Leapriwanti from the Office Administration Education Program, Faculty of Economics and Business, State University of Jakarta. Today, I will be presenting my thesis proposal titled Analysis of the Importance of Self-Confidence and Digital Literacy on Work Readiness of MPLB Students at SMKN 31 Jakarta. So the background of the proposal is vocational education, especially in SMK, plays an important role in preparing students for the world of work. In the digital era, self-confidence and digital literacy are important factors in work readiness. This research examines the relationship between self-confidence and digital literacy with the work readiness of MPLB students as a new, more specific, and relevant contribution. Next, the problem formulation is first, is there an influence of self-confidence on digital literacy in students? The second is there an influence of self-confidence on work readiness in students? The third, is there an influence of digital literacy on work readiness in students? And then the last is there an indirect influence of self-confidence on work readiness through digital literacy in students? Next, research objectives. First, knowing the influence of self-confidence on digital literacy in students. Second is identifying the influence of digital literacy on work readiness in students. The third is analyzing the influence of self-confidence on work readiness in students. And the last is evaluating the indirect influence of self-confidence on work readiness through digital literacy in students. For the research benefits, there are two benefits. First is theoretical benefits. The benefits of this research is as knowledge about the importance of self-confidence and digital literacy on the work readiness of MPLB students at SMKN 31 Jakarta. For the practical benefits, for researcher, increasing knowledge and experience in analyzing the influence of self-confidence and digital literacy on the work readiness of MPLB students. For school, providing input for designing curricula and training that supports work readiness based on soft skills and digital literacy. The third is for the faculty, adding academic references and enriching students in the field of vocational education as well as opportunities for collaboration with SMK. For the readers, providing an understanding of the importance of soft skills in the world of work and becoming a reference for further research. Next is literature review. First, work readiness is a condition where individuals have aligned their physical, mental, and experiential maturity to perform activities related to work. This involves mastering technical skills, knowledge, and attitudes necessary to succeed in the world of work. In addition, work readiness also includes self-confidence, the ability to carry out tasks according to plan, and the ability to compete effectively in work environment. And then self-confidence is a concept that includes belief in one's abilities, calmness in facing situations, independence in decision-making, and emotional stability. And then digital literacy is the ability of individuals to use technology effectively, critically, and wisely. This includes the skills to search, understand, evaluate, and utilize digital information to participate actively and intelligently in modern connected life. Next is hypothesis development. First, influence of self-confidence on digital literacy. Putri, in their research, mentioned that digital literacy has a positive and significant effect on self-confidence. This has the same meaning as the research results of Erlani Tasari, which shows that digital literacy ability of MSME actors in Indonesia is in the moderate category and affects their level of confidence in running a business in the digital era. Second, in influence of self-confidence on work readiness. In Novianing Tias, it is mentioned that the correlation between work readiness and student self-confidence is very related. One of the students at SMKN 3 Jombang has a high work readiness and self-confidence scores, so that the student has a very high level of self-confidence. The correlation between work readiness and student self-confidence is very related. Next is influence of digital literacy on work readiness. ALMI revealed that digital literacy significantly influences entrepreneurial readiness, suggesting that digital capabilities provide great opportunities and ease for students entering entrepreneurship in the digital era. And the last is indirect effect of self-confidence on job readiness through digital literacy. First, digital literacy can increase self-confidence as it gives a sense of responsibility and control over information. From Cahyani. Second is self-confidence affects job readiness by helping students face the workforce more prepared in Aulia. And the last is digital literacy and industrial work practices enhance job readiness, especially in digital entrepreneurship context. In Ulfa and Suharsono. Conclusion is self-confidence indirectly affects job readiness through digital literacy as a mediating variable. For the theoretical framework is here, and then the hypothesis. First, there is an effect of self-confidence on digital literacy. Second, there is an effect of self-confidence on job readiness. Third, there is an effect of digital literacy and job readiness. And the last is there is an indirect effect of self-confidence on job readiness through digital literacy. Research methodology. Place, time, and research design. The location that researcher use is SMKN 31 Jakarta, and the duration that researcher took is from January 2024 to May 2025. The method that researcher used is quantitative approach used to examine the population of specific sample. The population that researcher used is students of SMKN 31 Jakarta in grades 10, 11, and 12, majoring in Office Management and Business Services, or MPLB. The sample is sampling technique that the researcher used is proportional random sampling using Isaac and Michael's tables with a 5% margin of error. So here is the sample and population. Next is instrument development. There is two definitions. First is conceptual definition. Job readiness is a condition in which an individual has aligned their physical maturity, mental maturity, and experience to carry out work-related activities. The second is operational definition. Job readiness is a condition in which an individual has aligned their physical maturity, mental maturity, and experience to perform work-related activities. Indicators of job readiness include at least three aspects. First, confidence in one's own abilities. Second is willingness to express opinions, and the last is ability to act independently in decision making. Next is conceptual definition for self-confidence is a complex concept that involves various aspects, including emotional security, the ability to face situations calmly, belief in one's own abilities, and the capacity to meet needs and make independent decisions. For the operational definition, self-confidence is a complex concept that involves various aspects, including emotional security, the ability to face situations calmly, belief in one's own abilities, and the capacity to meet needs and make independent decisions. Self-confidence consists of at least three indicators. First is confidence in one's own abilities. Second is acting independently in decision making. And the last is willingness to express opinions. And the conceptual definition for digital literacy is the ability and knowledge of an individual to utilize digital technologies such as social media, the internet, and other communication tools effectively and wisely. And the operational definitions of digital literacy is the ability and knowledge of an individual to utilize digital technologies such as social media, the internet, and other communication tools effectively and wisely. There are several indicators of digital literacy, namely first, searching for and evaluating digital information. B is creating and encompassing digital content, and the last is the ability to communicate in the digital world. The data collection technique that the researcher uses is a quantitative method with primary data collected directly by the researcher for the purposes of the research. The data collection method is carried out through a questionnaire in which respondents are asked to answer a series of written questions and statements. The data analysis technique that the researcher used is software with Smart PLS 4.0. The method is partial least squares or structural equation modeling or PLS SEM, suitable for analyzing relationships between latent constructs, enables testing of both measurement and structural models. Next is measurement model or outer model. This process is known as construct validity testing, which includes convergent validity and discriminant validity as part of the validity evaluation. For validity and reliability evaluation, first, convergent validity requires outer loadings more than 0.7 and AVE more than 0.5. Discriminant validity uses cross-loading and the square root of F AVE more than construct correlations. For the reliability, composite reliability more than 0.7 and then from batch alpha more than 0.7. For the structural model or inner model, structural model evaluation is conducted by analyzing path coefficients, t-test, and the R-squares values of the dependent variables. Model evaluation using R-square assesses the predictive strength of the model. If it's more than 0.67, it means strong. If it is between 0.33 until 0.67, it means moderate. And if it is less than 0.33, it means weak. For the significance value or p-value, if it's less than 0.05, it means significant. And if it's more than 0.05, it means not significant. For the hypothesis testing is conducted to determine whether there is a positive and significant influence of first, self-confidence on work readiness. Second is digital literacy on work readiness. Third is self-confidence on digital literacy. And the last is the indirect influence of self-confidence on work readiness through digital literacy as a mediating variable. The concludes my thesis proposal presentation. Thank you for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.